What up, what up, what up? What up, everybody? It's your girl, Marquita, but they like to call me Who Miss Hollywood, and you're tuned into another episode of So Hollywood, the podcast.
Is it me or is it hot in here? You got it. Is it me or is it hot in here? So Hollywood, H-O-double-L-Y.
Hey, what up, everybody? It's your girl, Marquita, but they like to call me Who Miss Hollywood. I got this radio voice down packed, man. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in and that will tune in here shortly. So Hollywood, the podcast is a platform where everyone is treated equally, and I bring them together with this thing called entertainment. Catch the latest episode of So Hollywood, the podcast on my YouTube channel, and then also follow me on Instagram, So Hollywood, the podcast. And if you want to be a guest, just inbox me. But without further ado, we have a special guest here today. He is a singer. We're going to say singer because that's what you got in your bio. A singer, a songwriter, performer, poet, artist, a model. What don't you do? And you're from Victoria, VA. We have Dezzae. I always mess up names, but hopefully I got this one together today. How you doing today?
What's going on?
Okay, with the voice, the way you just switched it all the way up.
Sound like that.
They're not ready. So how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing really, really good. It's another day, we pushing forward. It's about to be a new year soon. So shout out to everybody that is, like I said, tuning in and making sure that everything is great in the building. Shout out to Session 420, Swaggle Out the Dawn. Shout out to everybody in G-Stacks 216. But we're gonna get into this interview today. You also dropped a new single, or your newest single, Can't Leave You Alone, which you're which you're performing here. Welcome to the Limelight shortly. And let's get into it. So I like to start the interviews with how did this thing called entertainment enter your life? Like, what is your earliest memory of entertainment?
So I was like 5 years old,
God.
and I was singing in the church choir called First Baptist.
Okay.
So it was in Victoria, Virginia. So from that age up, like 5 on up, I continued to sing. I want to thank the Lord every morning for my mama, First Lady. I mean, I was never shy when it came down to music. I was never shy with doing that,
Right.
So from age 5 all the way up, I started, singing at other churches,
Okay.
singing at funerals, singing at the singing competitions and stuff like that in the area, little talent shows. The little that we had, to my knowledge, we only had like 2 because we didn't really have much down there.
Right.
Um,
And that's in Victoria,
Virginia.
So talk a little bit about that, like, growing up in that atmosphere, and because I don't exactly know
Nobody do.
where it
I'm
is.
sorry.
So I'm from, like, my family is from like South Boston, Virginia.
It's
so
close.
I don't know how far or close that is. Okay, so talk a little bit about that area that you grew up in as well.
Yeah, so like it's a small town. We got one stoplight. There was a food line that was built there back in like 2008 or 2007. The reason how I remember it so well is because me and a few other course members from the high school course, we sung there and was actually, selling donuts and stuff like that. So that's how I remember the grand opening.
Oh my God.
Weird, but but the town is very, very small. There is one person who was originally from that town who was a really, really big name. A lot of people don't remember her, but because she's up there. Her name is Martha High.
No.
And she sung background for James Brown for many years.
Oh.
Many, many years. I'm talking about over 20 years.
Wow.
She's the only lady in the background that's brown skin with blonde hair.
Okay.
That could be the only one. And she still does music. I don't know where she at these days, but she still, is active. Yeah, so as far as the town, like I said, I grew up there. Most of my family's there. Like I said, one stoplight. We got 2 banks, the Benchmark Bank, and I forgot the name of the other bank because they had renamed it or something. But 2 gas stations, well, technically 3, but nothing stays open past 11. You can't get no delivery. You can't get no Uber, no DoorDash, none of that. None of that. You got to travel to go to the movies and shop. So, growing up there was cool, because I'm country. But when you get older and you want more, and you see things not progressing, sometimes they build up, and that's just not the case with my town. So,
was it a lot of minority in your town, or is it just like, a mixture, or was it all
it was
like
a
black
mixture.
folks?
It was
Okay.
a mixture of a lot of people. However, it just, there's no opportunity for black people.
Okay.
Um, unless you, start at the prison or something, which was built in like 97 or 96 or something like, yeah. So, you know what I'm
Wow.
saying? So nothing is really going on there, So if you want to move and you want to progress and, have a career or something, it's best that you go ahead and, do what you need to do, get your stuff together and go on out the way
Mm-hmm.
and, move. And most of the time people move up here or Richmond. It's
Okay.
Richmond or up here.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha.
So, yeah.
Got you. So you moved up here. We're going to talk about that because that was a little bit further down the line. But I guess talk about like your musical influences during that time as well, because like you said, you were into the church, and majority of the time you don't hear like that outside music, so to speak,
Mhm.
other than church music. So when did that kind of cross paths for you, as far as like the R&B and the rap and stuff like
Oh,
that?
from the beginning.
Okay.
From the beginning. I didn't have a Maddie Clark.
Okay.
Maddie Moss Clark was not my mom. You know what I'm saying? I was definitely allowed to listen to, R&B music and stuff
Okay.
because my
Okay.
mom was heavily influenced by Naughty by Nature, Phyllis Hyman, and, a lot of other people,
Okay.
so yeah. But for me, from age 5, I was a bit different. I didn't
Okay.
go out there and play in the mud. I took my little cousin's little perm box tapes, just for me tape those pink. And I used to tape over it because we used to have a radio station called 97.5
Right.
in our home in Victoria or whatever, in little Southfield, Virginia, and all that stuff.
Mhm.
So I used to tape over it, the little countdowns and stuff like that,
Yes.
So then after that, I just started, getting into documentaries like behind the music and stuff like that. I didn't really play a lot. I really read a lot when it came down to magazines and the aspects of the superstar's background or the artist's background.
Okay.
So that started when I was 5 as well, So
Mm.
yeah, it's weird, yeah.
So do you remember like your first like song or something that your mother may have played, or that your father may have played in the household, where, cuz most African American household, they have that cleaning up music and that, those type of things. Like, did that
Mhm.
happen in your household as well,
Yes.
and how did it influence who you are today?
Okay, so for my grandfather used to play a lot of hole in the wall music.
Mhm.
So you got your, Betty Wright,
Mm.
Tonight is the Night,
Yeah.
Clean Up Woman.
Yeah.
You got Otis Redding, you know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
got, Marvin Cease, all these old school people,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Peggy Scott Adams and a whole bunch of people,
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of like, got started on like, okay, I like this, or and I was young, but I was like the only one because he used to always play his guitar with like 3 strings on it.
Oh.
Drunk, lit off brandy, like, so so he playing it. Come on, Cordero, like he used to be so funny, like But that's how I got started on that. And my mom used to fuss like, "You need to go to bed. You need to go to bed." And I'm like, but yeah. So that's how I got started on that. But I will say that growing up, especially like in the 90s, like just being young and stuff, I used to always, when I wasn't supposed to, stay up and watch Apollo
Okay.
and Soul Train. Because they
Okay.
used to come on like back to back behind each other with
Absolutely.
these perm commercials and McDonald commercials and all this. It's so nostalgic, but I still love it. But yeah, so that's how I got, influenced on it.
Mhm.
So yeah.
And so you kind of realized being that you wanted to be in this thing called entertainment at a very young age, and you wanted to continue throughout your journey. So what were your other things that you were also interested throughout the path of, who you who you've become today? Because I had a list of things. You're a poet, you're an
Hmm.
artist, you're a performer. So can you talk a little bit about, those aspects of your life growing up and,
Okay. Well, as far as the acting part, so I always wanted to act. I was always a fool in theater and drama. Like always a fool.
So you was in theater in high school, middle school, stuff like that. Okay.
And they used to always like give me parts and stuff, and for me to do this and do that, and I'd be like, so make sure you sing. Make sure you sang too, because people were talented when I was in school, but nobody really wanted to. They'll do it around their friends or in the bathroom, but as far as like doing it in front of the whole school, they were always shy, but they always pushed my ass out there to do it. And I'm like, well, yeah, we didn't even rehearse it. Well, you got it. You good. I'm like, what? Like, so for me or whatever, like, and even the course teacher, like, I'm like, what? That's not cool. Like, but they know I'm be like,
yeah,
they know, so, but my thing is like, for me or whatever, that's what kind of started me to want to do acting. But it was hard because being, a big guy and stuff like that, it's kind of hard to be developed into acting or try to do acting.
Okay.
So that shot after all this time came this year. I had the opportunity to basically be a part of a commercial and a print ad. I just sent in some headshots. I got the word from somebody, this independent company. So I sent it over, and I want to say like the same day I was in the studio recording with the Beat Dungeon. I said, I just got an email. He was like, "You good, Dre? You good?" I'm like, I'm straight. You know what I'm saying? I just got some good news. But anyway, so I did the commercial. But the thing about it is, we had to shoot the commercial on the same day I had to be a part of a show. It was an open mic event in Virginia Beach, and the commercial was shot in Hampton. So I was cutting it, and at that time I was working 2 jobs. So all this stuff, all these songs and stuff, I've been busting my ass with 2 jobs with that, which is pretty lightweight compared to a lot of other people. But I'm just saying, like, it's a lot to just boom, 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 boom. Thank God I ain't got no damn kids, because I'd be like, sit down. Shit, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to do better for us. You want to listen. But anyway.
I'm trying to do better for us.
Trying to do better for us. But that's what basically did it for me. You know what I'm saying? That's what did it for me as far as like the acting and stuff like that. And when I saw that happen and they sent that over to me, like the print ad, I bust out crying. I was a straight up like punk that day. Like behind that phone, I was like, yo, I never thought my fat ass would be up here on a, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
like a print
course.
ad.
Right.
Because, when you don't have the look, we all know that. Brandy went through that. Kelly Rowland goes through that. You know what I'm saying? Jill Levert kind of went through that. He didn't get what he needed. Fantasia until he died. So it's like, that we all go through that. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have the commercial look.
Right.
Even males, so it's like, you and Dezzae Washington or whatever, anybody checking for you?
Right.
Fat ass. But, that's how they look at it. So, yeah, so that's what really got me with the acting stuff. So, yeah, I was acting in school, and then I started acting, with doing that or whatever. So I was happy about that. As far as the poetry started before writing music.
Okay.
Because I didn't know how to project and put the songs into formation. I was like, I can't write no damn song. And then, I used to have conversations with, a few people I went to school with, and also my family members and stuff like that. They was like, yes, you can. Like, this is basically a song. You just got to figure out how to, this, like, this, Corday. So why? I'm like, I don't know. And at the time, I'm like 16.
Okay.
So now at 17, I start like, okay, first verse. You got your hook. You know what I'm saying? You got your second verse. All right, you got your bridge. Or you could do a chorus or hook or whatever before the bridge. Throw some ad-libs in there. Know your harmonies.
So where were you getting all this information from? Were you just looking it up, or were you like...
It just started coming to me.
It was just, okay.
It just started coming to me. Because after listening to music and stuff like that and continue to listen to music, and you be like, okay, so is they singing all over the place, or is it, formatted? So at a young age, I figured out it was formatted. Wow. Because not only, singing in church, was one thing, but we also had to learn sheet music. And then also we had to learn songs. So it started coming back to me. And I'm like, okay, but you could put the R&B world into the gospel world. People have been doing it for years.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So just use it like, okay, you're singing a gospel song, but in reality, you're not singing a gospel song. That's how I had to think about it. So, that's how I got the aspect of it. So then I started writing some stuff and putting it on SoundCloud in this little studio called It was in like in a basement.
Mm-hmm.
It was in Green Bay. Shout out to Troy Doswell. And I recorded a song, If Your Heart Wasn't in It or whatever, and it's on SoundCloud. So I had a lot of stuff on SoundCloud before actually coming up here to do like big production or whatever type of stuff.
Absolutely.
Because where I'm from, we don't have it. You got to
Right.
go to Richmond. You got to go to the beach. You know what I'm saying? So when I started taking it serious and started putting more money into it, it was a wrap. Could tell me shit after that. You know what I'm saying? And not even on a cocky level, but more of like a confidence level. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. I still got a lot of work to do.
Absolutely.
But as far as like the poetry part, that's why I said I would call myself a poet as well, even though I haven't projected it in front of an audience. Well, actually, I have on social media, but not at a show.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So as far as the performance, shit, that all tied in one, tied up in one. You know what I'm saying? So. Yeah.
Now, did you go to college or like anything after high school?
I went to community college for a little while, and then my mom started getting sick, so I started taking care of her. And at that same time, I was still in the chorus. In the choir.
Around the same age, 16, 17? Or
No,
was that a little bit later?
That was like 19.
19.
Yeah,
that
was like 19.
Okay.
Because like around that time, we had a choir as well at the college. So anywhere music is at, I was just a part of it.
Yeah.
So I was doing it and stuff like that. And we had competitions at Kings Dominion and things like that. And we won. We won twice. The first year we won second place. The first year we won first place. And even in high school we did, the same thing with this. So that was like my fourth or fifth time being at Kings Dominion. So
okay. So you've traveled outside of Victoria to experience the entertainment portion.
But not on a solo level.
Oh.
It was always on a choir. I was in a choir, a part of a choir, or singing lead of a choir.
Okay.
Or something like that. But as far as my work, my solo projects, no. This is the first time I've made this year.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah.
Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
For stepping out. So talk a little bit about that transition for you, because I'm pretty sure that was kind of I don't want to say difficult, but it was like, it's just like leaving a group behind. Like you the main attraction, and then you leaving a group, and then now you got to step out of
Well, I will say this. I was a part of a few groups, but some people take it serious and some people don't. Some people catch the Holy Ghost, and some people do it for God, and some people do it for a show. And when I realized that it's done for a show and it's supposed to be for God, I don't want no parts of it. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no parts of it. I'm already up here being who I am, you know what I'm saying? And I'm up here singing God's praises, and you trying to treat it like it's a show. You don't want me to go out there, and you don't want me to sing this and sing that. You want to be a part of the show. And that's not how it's supposed to be. And everybody looking at you like, okay, we know you can sing, but you gonna bring Cortez back out there. He don't care about the fact that, he could sing or whatever. He wants to reach people.
Right.
You treating it like it's, if we don't get up, you gonna come over there and get in our face and sing like it's a battle. Anyway, it's the same. You go through the same stuff in the R&B world that you go through in gospel. It's the same thing. It's kind of like the same thing. If you don't have good people around you and stuff like that, and people who mean you well, it ain't gonna work out. It ain't gonna work out. I know for me, when I was at my main church, First Baptist, my mom was getting sick. She was declining. And I had got a call from a church member. She was like, I got an opportunity for you. I'm like, what's going on? I got to be at the hospital, because I'm going from Victoria, Virginia to Richmond to MCV. And so she said, I think you would want to, I knew you want to do it. I hope you do it. I'm like, okay, Sheila, what's going on? What's going on, Sheila? What's going on? I got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, well, Dorothy Norwood had came to the church or whatever, because, sometimes we get some people to come.
Right.
And I was like, Dorothy, I said, oh my God, I remember her. My grandma loves her. And so she was like, yeah, she's looking for some background singers to go on the road with her. And she's offering, for a contract, negotiation, whatever. And we thought you'd be a perfect fit. We got tapes of you from when you were 5 and stuff. Like, I think it'd be a perfect fit. And I said, Sheila, I can't. The reason why I couldn't is because my mom is declining. My mom is literally dying. And it's like, I can't say I want to do something like that and I have this going on, because I know in my heart within a month or two, my mom, I'm going to have to be planning a funeral and all this stuff. And that is what happened. So all of my dreams, again, got put on hold from my mom. And I'm not complaining about that. But for some reason this year, after I let all that bullshit go, the dog shit, I just began to, prevail. And
Right.
and it was just so simple as applying myself and being around certain people. And sometimes I sit back myself because I'm emotional. I'm goofy, but I'm an emotional person. Like I would cry in a heartbeat when I'm happy. And it's like the older I got,
Same.
I would cry. I'd be like, "Oh, I'm just so fucking happy. Oh, I need a minute. I need a minute." Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, get off. Don't touch me.
Right.
I just need a minute. Like,
Right.
But I just get so happy, because it's just, it ain't easy. It ain't never easy. You know what I'm saying? Whether you got rich parents or not, it ain't never easy.
Absolutely.
So that's the story of that. But I did try out for Idol.
Okay.
When I was 18. No, I did X Factor first. It was 2012. I had tried out for X Factor. 2012 or 2011. Oh, I remember. I think it was 2011. And I tried out for X Factor in Greensboro, North Carolina. And I didn't make it to the second round, but I made it through the first round. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. I wish I could find those people now because there was some great people there. And at that time, me being for the country, we know nothing about no damn Instagram and stuff like that. Facebook just became a thing to us. Yeah, we Victoria's late on a lot of shit.
Damn.
So, it was dope. I was in line for about 12 hours. Helicopter, who's ready to be next X Factor? You know what I'm saying? You got all the people out there.
Hyped up and shit.
I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So my mom was always my main supporter.
Talk about that. Your support growing up now, and then also your support now, because I know your mother, you said, passed away. So you had to get that support from somewhere. And I'm pretty sure she's still supporting you. But talk a little bit about like who supported you then and then who's supporting you now as well.
Well, like I said, my mom was my main supporter. And then my family started, supporting me as well because they were shocked on how I moved when she passed. Because I was strictly a mama's boy. A tantrum tantrum. Hard-headed.
Child?
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoiled. Mama's boy. So I had to basically debate with my mom at 22 to even go to the store on my own car. And we don't have much in Victoria, so imagine that. Like, it ain't like I'm going all the way over town. Like, just crazy. So as far as like my family supporting me, they started doing it as time went on. Because I think for a while they couldn't realize the fact or understand the fact or get with the fact that I'm gay. But at the same time, they start, like, okay, so he really walking into this. Okay. I'm so proud of him. Because when I was little, they used to always say it. I'm like, I ain't never touched neither part yet. And y'all just want to throw it on me. Like, damn, I ain't said nothing about you last night. Oh, you know what I'm saying? So
I ain't touched neither part.
They ain't touched neither part yet. Like, come on. Like, how you gonna do me like that? I'm a little feminine. Damn. Okay. Shit. My mama. What you expect? So my thing is like,
you stupid as hell.
But after that, I ain't gonna lie though. After that or whatever, once they realized that, I didn't give two shits, I really didn't care. They supported it.
Yeah. Is that when you moved to Virginia Beach at that time or Norfolk?
They came out.
Okay.
My mom was living when it happened. I told her, she said, "Y'all already knew." I said, "What?" She said, "Don't bring no man up in my house."
Why do they already say that? Man, I already knew.
I already knew.
Don't
bring no damn man up in my house. And you better protect yourself. I love you. And she went on back to watching her Law and Order.
Oh my God. So how was that for you then? And what was your emotions like after you
told her? It was relaxing. Because even before then, I wasn't even messing with men. It was a desire to. I was still messing with women. And the truth be told, the more men, the more guys that start talking to, the more women start coming. And I even explained to them, I'd be like, I talk to guys and stuff like that. Okay, so what that got to do with us? I'm like, no, I'm saying I talk to guys. Like, I really, And she be like, or the girls be like, okay, I mean, it's just for the night or whatever, I mean, and I'm like, all right, shit, I'm cool. I'm not gonna pass it up. I'm just saying, like, So, and it's weird because like when I go out, I look like a straight ass dude.
Right.
So when I go out and I'm always with females, I always have females with me. So we have to play this little aspect, like, if you see somebody you like or he checking you out, just flip on the switch for me to be feminine. Just flip it on. Cause, I give me a signal, and we have these little codes. If a guy is seeing her or he like her, he'll keep on looking and she'll look at me. And if she like what she see, she'll be like, like, don't do it.
Right.
And I'd be like, all right. And I go over to the dance floor, chilling and stuff, dance with another girl, whatever. And next thing you know, the guy he won't come over there while I'm over there. I'm like, I don't know. Guys be so weird sometimes. But my thing is like, I'm like, oh, you want to talk? He kept walking around her. I said, no, fuck this. I walked over. I said, bro, you, what's up, bro? He's, hey, what's going on, man? I was like, yeah. I said, you like, old girl? He was like, no. I said, yes, you do. Yes, you do. I said, go over there and talk to him, man. He's like, oh, I thought y'all was guys. I said, nah, dude, I'm gay. He's like, oh, shit. Well, I said, yeah, it doesn't appear to be that way,
right,
but yeah,
right.
I am. We all come in different colors and shapes and sizes like
Shape.
Puerto Ricans. Like, we just come in different, So, he was like, okay, should I go talk to her? I said, dog, I'm not going to lead you to the water too. You go do your thing. Go do your thing, bro. He's like, oh, all right, say less. Talk to her or whatever, they dancing on the floor. I said, oh. But anyway.
Now, does this play a role in how you treat music as well? Or is it a combined situation type? I don't know how to really ask the question, but do you understand?
I got it.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. Yes and no.
Okay.
The reason why I said it is because if you actually look at I'm more R&B than anything.
Absolutely.
I'd touch house. I'd touch, R&B trap. I'd touch R&B and funk. I'd touch hip hop, with, elements of jazz. It's like that. It's kind of jazzy just a little bit.
Right.
So I'd touch many different things. But the question everybody can ask, and that's not really no answer to, is what openly male, gay, consistent R&B artist or artist that who happens to not be feminine all the time? You don't know any. Frank Ocean did it, and where he at? You feel what I'm saying? Wait, I mean, I'm not no shade.
Absolutely.
He's still a great writer, and he's probably still writing for people, and it maybe wasn't the time to do it. And I had this conversation with, someone else as well about that. But for me, moving up here, it does get a little weird because I don't like when certain guys or certain people or certain women, I have more problems with gay men and gay men than anything. I never really had an issue when it comes down to straight men. They know who they are. You know what I'm saying? They know who they are. And it's like they don't really judge me like, he is what he is. I ain't in this bedroom, motherfucker sing. That's talent. That's money. That's money to be made.
Right.
I show. Yeah, I damn sure do a track with him. You know what I'm saying? He'll pull up, he gonna put on. What he do with his private life, that's not my business.
Facts.
I don't care. That's weird.
Facts.
Why would anybody want to think about that? You got a wife, you got a kids or whatever, or you just want to get some, pussy. Like, why you thinking about me?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And don't even think that I want anything above it because I say you attractive guy. I said that's it. That's all I'm saying. You're attractive guy. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I got a homegirl you can hook up with, you know what I'm saying? Just going on. Don't think that I want to get you drunk and do something with you.
Right.
And that's the thing where I get weird at sometimes because I'm like, if I do this or if I do that, people gonna look at me like, well, he's an artist, so yeah, that's too gay for me. Or that's you know what I'm saying? Like, so me, I just try to keep it in the middle because I'm not too gay, and we know there's so many that are so girl and just everything. And I'm like, you don't gotta do that. All this attitude, we already looked at like we the scums of the fucking earth anyway. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, straight people think gay people stick together. Negative. They don't. It's all a weird competition. I'm like, you competing with your own identity? Okay. So, But yeah, it wasn't really complicated to put it in it as I got older.
Okay.
Because now I began to talk about things that nobody talks about being the same sex in music. Lesbians do it. That's always been a known fact for lesbians or for it to be accepted more than men. And then we got shows like P Violet. We got shows, the Tyler Perry shows and stuff like that. So now you're seeing it. Sometimes it could be a bit too much.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'm saying it myself, being a part of the, LGBTQ community, but it could be too much sometimes. And it's like, okay, that was a little too far. That was hot though. I ain't gonna front. That was really sexy. But that was a bit too far. You know what I'm saying? That's just something that you have some oomph sometimes, So, but yeah. Yeah.
So speaking of like R&B, like where do you feel the R&B is right now? Like how do you feel? I don't know.
What am I? I'm gonna take a sip on that one. I'm gonna go for the red cup on that one because this is the question I've definitely been waiting for. So R&B to me today is not what it used to be. We all know that. We all know that. However, there are still some elements of what it used to be.
Absolutely.
And that is what pushes me, because that's another reason why it took me a while to get back to doing it. Not just because of the death of my mom, but also the change of R&B. I always felt I was born in, 1980. I always feel I was born before my time because I would have fitted with Uptown. I would have fitted with Bad Boy. Probably would have, got shitted out of the contract then. But I would have fitted because it just fit. It's just And today it's like they're talking. It's like they're talking in auto-tune, and then it's like spoken word in auto-tune, and they call it R&B, and I'm like, how is that R&B? And you whining and shit, like, what I'm saying? Like, you whining. What you whining for? You ain't even whining for no, to have sex. You just whining. Like, Keith Sweat did it. It was different,
Right.
It was different. Right? You whining. At least he had background singers to build him up, Shout out to Janice McGee. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, like, damn. Yeah, somebody back about whining. They do that. And it's like the passion and the dedication and the heartfelt passion into R&B is missing. We would never see another My Life album by Mary J. That'll never happen again. We would never see a Usher Confessions album again. He can't even top that. And that's no shade. He knows it's there. Not that he need to. He's established, but stuff, Keisha Cole's, the way it is. Albums like that, it can't be topped. It just can't be topped. I can go on and on with a whole bunch of albums and stuff. Toni Braxton.
Yeah.
And even some of the ones that people didn't pay attention to. Libra was a dope album. It was a very dope album. And
John B.
Oh yeah, John B.
Yeah. Most of them are becoming relevant again because, for one, some of the newer generation are using their songs, and then also they may have that one hit that might bring them back. So how do you feel about that aspect of it as well? Like having the OGs come back and like,
I love it.
Talk a little bit
when it's done right, I love it. Like with Charlie Wilson, it was done so superb.
Yes.
It was perfect.
Yes.
When it was done with Betty Wright before she passed,
yes,
it was perfect. A lot of other people. Let me think of somebody else. They need to leave Whitney Houston alone. They need to stop messing with Whitney Houston and her brand and stuff. Just leave it alone.
Another Whitney Houston not documentary, but it was another movie of Whitney Houston coming out.
Really?
Yes, they do. They're not sipping it.
Pat Houston just won't give it up, huh? But anyway,
oh my God.
But they just need to stop touching things. The Aaliyah, people touching Aaliyah stuff, sometimes it works, and then sometimes it doesn't. When Drake did it, I think it was cool. When Chris Brown did it, it was cool. A lot of other people be touching other people's stuff and they don't mention them. But when you know music and you know this and that or whatever, you be like, oh no, that was done in 92. That's TLC. It's just flip. And it's just weird. But for me, when these old artists link up with these new artists, like when Usher did it with Summer Walker, that was superb. That was nice and clean. I like that, because he's still youthful in a way. He don't age at all. I'm trying to think of somebody
else. He
else
just had
too.
a residency too in Las Vegas, I believe. So listen, they making it.
Yeah, they making it. And that's what I love about it. When you, as a new artist, can pull somebody from the past, it's a beautiful thing. That's one of my goals.
Okay, talk about it.
I want to continue to make old school music, but with a new school twist, like that R.E. Lennox type of Dreamville type of label type of flow. J. Cole and stuff like that, because it brings back when J. Cole had wrote Missy Elliott and Timbaland beat the song Best Friend. And somebody was like, how the hell do you remember that? It wasn't even a single.
Right.
And I was like, because I bought the album. Like, what you mean? Like, I just don't remember it. Like, so my thing is like, when they do that, it's cool sometimes. And sometimes it's not cool. They just need to leave it alone. And sometimes what messed them up is they put too much autotune on singers that can sing. And that kind of like throws in them like, they shouldn't have turned that up to 85%. And maybe 10, 15, but not no 85%. They don't need to be selling, nah. I can't believe they even approved of that.
You don't even use auto. You're not a fan of autotune.
No. Yeah, I don't. I know like with Can't Leave You Alone. I think Dezzae Pro, because Dezzae Pro had produced it. I think she put maybe like 5 or 10% on it, just like a little filter. But all the rest of my music, no. Like no, which 5 or 10% is not bad, because what we hear around here and what we hear in other places, it's really turned up.
Right.
And then when they get on stage, it's like, even with or without a performance track, you just don't get it. You don't feel it. And then they just act like you just supposed to. For what? What did you do? A 2-year-old can like rappers too. The passion is not there no more.
Absolutely.
It's not there. It's all about a buck and going viral. And also too, you have to take precaution of what you put in your art.
Right.
You can't be out here talking about Black Lives Matter and then you in your rap talking about killing somebody and you gonna fuck somebody up and this and that, I'm gonna shoot your mouth, or just crazy shit. You can't do that. And then you want to get positive feedback, or you want to be positive. Stop portraying an image or being a part of a real image that you're trying to get out of if you want, peace and harmony for everybody. Because let's be real, we killing ourselves. We see it all the time on the news. We killing ourselves. I mean, the police, they do their thing, Black Lives Matter and stuff like that, but mostly we killing ourselves. It's a 2-for-1 nigga special for them. I'm just being honest with you. Like,
2-for-1 nigga special?
Yeah, 2-for-1 nigga special.
Listen.
Yeah.
So let's get back into
the music,
to the music part. So talk a little bit about like your recording process, and how do you put a song together as an artist, and then also like your performances and where you get your I guess your judge for your performances, so to speak.
Okay. So what I would do is I would actually purchase the beat first.
Okay.
And when
first, let's talk about how you learned majority of the things that you've learned thus far. Like as far as like being in the studio, and you've mentioned like counting bars and stuff like that at the beginning, but how did you know to go into the studio, book studio session? How did you know to record? How do you know, those type of things? Like, where did you learn that from?
Research.
Yeah,
research. I got tired of not being able to go to a decent one. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to go to a big one, so I just started going on Google and finding places. But for my main producer up here, shout out to the Beat Dungeon. But so I met him at AT&T we had met at AT&T, and then we was talking about music, and Chucky B. Thompson from Washington D.C. or whatever, so he produced mostly of Mary J. Blige's album My Life and a lot of other stuff in the 90s and stuff like that. So we was talking and stuff, and he was like, what you know about all that? So make a long story short, we end up, getting each other's numbers, and then almost a year later, I started recording. So yeah, it was like when I was ready.
Right.
Because like I had a lot going on. I had a lot going on. So that's when I started, basically, going into that. So he became my main producer. I did decide to work with different producers just to move around a little bit, just to project a different sound, which explains Can't Leave You Alone. It's kind of trap soul, you know what I'm saying? It's just not too much, but it's enough, and it's different from It's Like That. It's more of me showcasing my vocals just a little bit more. And then Time is just in a whole nother level itself. Like, it's just all over the place, like high energy. But that's how I started with that.
And then so walk us through, like, you pick your beat, and then you write your. Do you already have lyrics written?
Sometimes.
Or do you? Okay, talk a little bit about that process too.
So sometimes I have stuff already written, because I'll be like, yo, give me something. I'm still old school. I still write on paper when it comes down to lyrics and stuff, because sometimes your phone could be freezing up, and it's like,
absolutely,
no, it's there. I need it. I need like, So what I do now is like, I may make like a voice memo and just leave it alone, and then just still write it on paper. And they were like, "You just so damn old fashioned." I said, "I'm sorry." Like, word of mouth, everything, all that stuff still works, So that's how I do it. And then sometimes I buy a beat, because what we do is like at the Beat Dungeon Studio, we do a See You Next Tuesday, like every Tuesday. And so what we do is he'll be making beats and stuff like that, and we check out anything we like, or he'll be building a beat up, and that's a incredible experience, and that's what encouraged me to want to maybe produce in the future.
Okay.
Even for myself, because I'm like, whoa, that's just crazy. But I would listen to something, and if I like it, I'll purchase it, and then I go into the process of writing it. But I don't like to rush myself with writing something, especially when you know that it's going to be heard from other people.
You want to make it time.
Right. So I may ask a few people that I know that don't do music that I can really trust. What you think about this part? What you think about that part? Because me, I will overdo a song.
Okay.
I will overdo it. It's the church part. It's just I will overdo it. So I have to be told like, oh, that less is best, and that's enough. And that's what I like. When my producer did, they be like, Dre, no, that's good right there. I'm like, okay. So yeah, that's the process of that. And then after I do that, I already got an account set up with DistroKid, and I just go and post it. And before I actually post it, I may mention it here and there to different social media accounts that, I got a single coming soon and stuff like that. And, but I'm still trying to learn the business side of that. Country. So all I know is, here's your mic. You got your song? Okay, go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I'm a singer before a writer, So they always came first.
So how do you pick your next singles or your songs that you're gonna put out? And do you have like albums, mixtapes, or like what do you have out right now, or as like singles, or just you have albums?
Singles.
Okay.
Singles. Because like everybody don't, well, I'm not gonna say everybody, but some people still don't, they don't do albums no more. And then sometimes some people do, and then it's more like a EP, LP, whatever type of thing, or a single release party or video release party. It's just different now. So with me, I decided to just drop a few singles, different sounds, try to show some versatility, be versatile, with my music and stuff. So everybody won't be like, oh, it sound the same. It's the same beat. What the fuck he crying about now? Oh my God, big ass crying all the time. So my thing is like, I try to have different sounds. Like my latest track is Floor, which is a house track.
I heard that. It was dope.
Right. I appreciate it. Produced by Kevin Mirage. Yeah, produced by Calvin. I always wanted to do a house track, but I wanted to be precise on how to do it because I'm more R&B than anything. But I'm still an artist, so I would do different type of, stuff. So with approaching it and promoting it, I just try to be careful with it. That's why I was like, that song will be the last song of the year that I do.
Okay.
That's just to close out the year. I mean, who don't want to hear a house record on New Year's Eve?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and so it was released, less than 60 days before. So, boom, just perfect marketing strategy.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I actually just dropped the single and I never wanted to be an
Ooh.
artist, but I just practiced and
Mhm.
it's a trap house type beat and so on. I'll let you hear it when we
Okay.
get
All right. Okay. Yeah. Shoot. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So, what was the influence behind your single that you'll be performing today? Can't Leave You Alone. Like, what was the inspiration about that?
That's a great question. So, the inspiration behind that, what inspired me behind that is Jodeci. Jodeci, Uptown Records and all that, Mary J, Heavy D, blah, 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 Super Cat, all of them.
Right.
That label always inspired me. As I mentioned kind of earlier, like I always wanted to be a part of that,
Right.
because they had that hip hop sound with that, but Jodeci is what inspired it. Half of Jodeci is from Hampton, Virginia. Devin and Devontae is from Hampton, Virginia. Casey and JoJo is from North Carolina, which I'm about to go see their cousin shortly. Shout out to Fantasia. It's your girl Fantasia. But no, so that's what inspired me. Because if you listen to the hook, I can't leave you alone. You know what I'm saying? And kind of like the melody of it just a little bit, it reminds you of Fiending by Jodeci.
Yes.
So that's what inspired me with that.
That was a real classic right there. You should try to get them on that.
I'm gonna try.
Anything is possible. These Instagram, you can DM them. They'll hit you right back themselves. Be like, go hook it up. I'll go ahead and do it. Cause who's gonna turn down some money right now?
You got that right.
Listen, if you're investing like you say you're investing, I'm pretty sure they'll somebody. We're gonna speak this into existence.
We're gonna speak it.
The remix gonna be featuring Jodeci. Listen.
Yeah.
So where do you get your visuals? Bless you. Where do you get your visuals from in the direction that you went with? I think what was the latest video that you just did? It was really, really dope. I can't even think of the name. I wrote it down. I didn't write it down on this one, but it was on YouTube, and it was I just watched it today. I can't think of the visuals. Is it?
It's like that.
Okay, so yeah.
That's the only music video so far.
Oh. See, there you have it. No, because you had some YouTubes and it was just your picture and your
like
image, but then you also had another video.
A lot of shit. I have a lot.
You have two different channels too, so we gotta get you right on that one. Because I was like, hey, is this the same? Okay, it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was what was your inspiration behind your visuals, and will you have any visuals coming up for the newest singles that you just dropped?
Okay, so the visuals for It's Like That was kind of like old school.
Okay.
There was one thing missing from the music video that I really wanted, and that was like doubles and triples of me. Something that people used to do a long time ago, and sometimes people still do it today. It's rarely seen, but I always wanted that. So that was the only thing that was missing, which wasn't a big deal. But the image of and the aspects of It's Like That was meant to be street / soulful and soft. So you have elements of graffiti in there. You have elements of romantic love when the two hands are touching. You have elements of sexiness and stuff like that where lips are shown, just a shot of lips and things like that. It's just you have elements of relationship problems where you're arguing.
In the car.
Right. So it's like it takes you back in the day where So for me, I was trying not to laugh because the girl in the video in the car was actually my friend and she was high as a kite. So I was like, I said, yo, I'm trying not to laugh. We had to cut like twice. I was like, yo, stop laughing. She was like, I can't. She said, this remind me of my ex. And she said, motherfucker. I said, yo.
You done took her back like that.
She slammed my door at one part because because he cut it. And I was like, why did you cut it, Joe? But he cut it because this one part she got out of the car and she slammed the door. When she slammed the door, she had failed.
Oh.
But see, that's what made it funny. I said, don't slam my damn door. That's why one part I'm looking like this, like that, because that's the part. But it's cut. You can't see it. But yeah, it was funny. But half of that, the interesting part about that is half of that was shot in Chesapeake.
Oh, okay.
The other half was shot in my hometown. And people didn't, they was like, well, where was that at? I've never seen that part of the 757. You ain't gonna see that part of the 757. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's my first music video. Of course I'm gonna go to my hometown.
Right.
And, share some light in my hometown, whether it's 12 o'clock at night or not.
As you should.
So, and it's interesting because when that was shot, I had a podcast interview with Nostalgia on the Rocks. I had just left. I was like, Vic, I gotta go. Said, oh yeah, that's right. You shooting a video? I said, yes, Vic. I said, I gotta go. So we was already late, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn. So by the time I got down there to Victoria, it's a 3-hour drive. So I got down there, it was like 10-something, everybody waiting and stuff. And I said, yeah, bring it in. I'm sorry, y'all. Bring it in. I'll buy y'all a drink, So we went to shooting and And then I got everything back and paid for the music video and dropped it. And within 2 weeks, it received over 1,000 views.
Wow.
But see, that goes with self-promotion as well.
Absolutely.
You can't drop things and nobody know who the hell you are.
Absolutely.
You didn't go to school with people up here. You don't, you know what I'm saying? You don't know people up here. You push.
Right.
Push. You ain't got no click.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got no clout. Push. Right. Do your part as an artist.
Right.
Don't be lazy.
Right.
So
I'm just saying that. You need to tell some of these artists, hey, we ain't gonna get on that. So let's we're gonna push forward and then we're gonna get to the top 5 and then the wind down and then the final question. So leave something to this thing called entertainment. What is something that you would leave to this thing called entertainment or tell your younger self to this day?
Don't wait so long. Whether they receive it or not, do it. Whether they appreciate it or not, do it. And also, be cautious on who you let inside of your art and inside of your heart, because that can also conflict with what you really want to do, because you put yourself on the back burner so they can do what they want to do. Compromise. So be careful who you be involved with. That's the best thing I can tell my younger self.
That's right. I'll tell my younger self that too. No, but let's push forward to top 5, which is top 5 questions catered to you, my guest. But today I have 4, so we're just gonna push through it the best way we can. So top 5 artists you'd like to write for.
Right.
Look.
Not background, but right. Damn. Ooh, we're gonna speak it. I would like to write for Fantasia.
Okay.
I would like to write for her.
Okay.
Even though I think she writes majority of her stuff, but I would still like to write for her. I would like to write for Chris Brown.
Okay.
Even though he pretty much, it ain't many of this generation. I'm sadly but so.
And that's fine.
It ain't many.
And that's fine. If you don't have 5, then that's cool too.
What's the next 5? What's the question?
No, okay, so the next one is top 5 performances that you've done, because I see you do a lot of performances on your Instagram.
Speaking of performances, I have actually done 16 performances altogether.
Really?
I literally sat back last night while at work, not doing nothing, because it was a dry night, and I counted all of my performances. I've done 16. I performed the most in Newport News. Shout out to Alam Asylum. But yeah, I had performed there the most. And then I performed once in Portsmouth, 2 times recently made it in Hampton.
Okay.
The first time was with the Legacy Live with Nostalgia on the Rocks and them. And I performed once in Chesapeake. That was with Keena Scott and friends. Shout out to Keena. Whoop. But but yeah, so Yeah, and as far as like Norfolk, I did it one time.
Okay.
The only part of the 757 that I haven't performed at was Suffolk.
Okay.
All basically the narrow down. I've performed everywhere besides Suffolk. I haven't hit Suffolk yet.
It's coming. All right. So last one is top 5 R&B singer or group.
Okay, that's easy. All right, so top 5 R&B singers, dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Okay.
No order, no particular order.
Okay. R. Kelly.
Okay.
Not Robert, but R. Kelly. Fantasia. Joe Levert. Johnny Gill. And I'm gonna throw one more in there. Sylvester.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And top 5 moments in your career so
far. Podcast interviews. Performances. My first performance. Networking. And meeting interesting people who still do real music. Showcase real music.
All right, so let's get to the wind down, which is your social media, your shout outs, and then I have one final question, which is the question of the day. So go ahead and give your social media and whatever you want to leave our friends, because once we do an interview together, we're friends now. So go ahead.
So my Instagram is Dezzae _music. So it's DEZZAE _music. The latest project, all my projects I have out so far are on all social media platforms. It's Like That, featuring Poker Face. We got Can't Leave You Alone, which is inspired by Jodeci. The third single was Time, which was inspired by Erykah Badu and CeeLo. The fourth single is Floor, which is inspired by the house scene. So those are all my singles. So the latest single is Floor. The next music video will be Can't Leave You Alone, which will be in rotation of 2023. Let's see what else. I think that wraps it up. That's about it.
Okay. And the final question is, what bothers you about the industry, and what would your solution be to help fix it?
Unity. There's not enough unity. People, I hate the term with, support your friends, you supporting other people's businesses. Don't support your friends if your friends ain't projecting good art. Don't lie to your friends. Okay? Just the line needs to stop. I don't want nobody in my corner or my circle benefiting off me because I'm not benefiting, but telling me something that I want to hear. You tell me something that I need to hear. And I think that's what's missing a lot in the industry and in music in the independent world. You can't support something that's not good. And to you, it may not be good. And we're like, well, you tripping. Okay, people have different opinions. However, don't, you know what I'm saying? You can support other people who are not your friends. If it's good, it's good. What you hating for? And that's the perfect way for us to prevail, and get up out of here. And then maybe some people will be on Pharrell and Missy and Timbaland and even Magoo level. If they have that aspect to realize that it's not all about you. It's not all about you. It's not all about your friends. There's other people out here too. This click shit need to stop. It just need to chill out, Absolutely. That's all I got for that one.
Well, I appreciate you for sliding through SoHollywood the podcast. Excuse me. Follow me, Miss Hollywood, MISS Hollywood 313 in the podcast, SoHollywood the podcast. And if you'd like to be a guest on SoHollywood the podcast, just inbox me. And I have some performance slots. Welcome to the limelight. And we also have listening sessions. We have that coming up here soon too. So if you don't have anything else to leave our friends with, we're gonna get up out of here. That's it.
That's it. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Thank y'all for. Peace up, A-Town down.
Is it me or is it hot in here? You got it. Is it me or is it hot in here? SoHollywood,
Before I tell Dad. Okay, here. Yeah. Let's see.
To be a guest on SoHollywood the podcast, just email SoHollywoodthepodcast@gmail.com or follow me on Instagram, SoHollywood the podcast, and MISS Hollywood 313.